Good morning. It's National Love People Day. So I want you to make sure that you love your people. Right? All that love on Twitter. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I will say I did go over the Tennessee message boards and all the amazing things that they said about Starkville and their time there. I thought that was cool.
That's dope.
So somebody told me to go over there, and so I forget that you can switch over, and so I'm on genespage.com. I go over to the Tennessee site, and I start seeing the threads, and they had a great time bouncing around and eating and drinking and partying. Look, there was a crew staying across the street from where we were in Starkville, and hold on, what morning was it? I feel like I was there for a long time. Saturday morning, they were singing rock. They were playing Rocky Top. The house that they were staying in had a little wraparound porch deck area, and so they were out there in their I guess you call that orange, and they were playing Rocky Top.
Burnt orange.
Yeah, is that what they call it?
Yeah, I think so. It's it's quite hideous, but the Rocky Top deal, obviously iconic in college football. But wasn't it Vandy that sat out? Didn't they beat them in Knoxville and sit outside on the fraternity row and sing it to them the whole way through?
Vandy sang it back to them. Oh, I don't know. That's awesome if they did.
They went over there and won. They obviously shouldn't have.
When did they win?
Let me look at it.
Okay.
Recent.
All right. It's because Diego didn't pull that game off last year, I don't think, because Vandy went to the college football playoff, but I don't remember that game. I know Diego Pavia, the quarterback, QB1 at Vanderbilt, who will play in Alabama this weekend at Tuscaloosa. He owns the state of Alabama currently. I know Paul Feinbaum is talking about running for U.S. Senate as a Republican, which is odd because I had, and this is fine, run for but I had Paul as a Democrat. I think this is fascinating that, out of the two parties, the one that's had more people run as one, but is really the other ideology, wise is Republicans. You don't see that in the, in the over on the Democratic side, but, or often, as often. How about that? Yeah. And, of course, a lot of these cats, once they go up to D.C., they become Democrats, even if they're Republicans. It's just too much pressure and money and ways to spend our money. But Paul Feinbaum as U.S. Senate, interesting. I like Paul, and we've had many conversations over the years. And the last time he was on the show after Saban retired, that best interview we've ever had with him, and the interview got absolutely crushed. And Feinbaum dropped that he knew on Sunday after the SEC championship game that Saban was eventually going to step down several weeks later after their college football playoff semifinal game, which ended in a loss to Michigan, and he did step down. But Feinbaum, to me, is without a doubt a Democrat, but there's talk that he's running in the Republican primary, and if Bruce Pearl doesn't run, which people thought that was the whole reason why he was stepping down, was to run because Tommy Tuberville is, I guess, leaving his U.S. Senate position. This is the position that one of these guys, I guess, is running for. Because Tommy Tuberville, as a U.S. Senator, is going to go back to Alabama to run for governor. So all that's just wild to me. But I had Feinbaum, and again, this run is who you want, sure, and whatever you believe in, and I think you should, because that's how the system is set up. But I don't. Paul's not a conservative. I don't believe that. But we'll see. We'll see how that looks. All right. The show is brought to you by, I love steaks, and I love a good glass of bourbon, like award-winning Elijah Craig bourbon. Kessler Prime has, just about any cut you can think of, from the porterhouse to the filet, to the bone-in ribeye to the ribeye, to the bone-in filet, to the New York strip, and all kinds of fun things in between, from homemade hot tamales to fried crawfish tails and crab claws, which it doesn't get any better than some really good fried crab claws. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. Don't forget that Jamie Ferris at Lincoln Road in Hattiesburg has Elijah Craig barrel picks, and there's more coming, and we love it. And he's got the PGA Championship Elijah Craig juice, and the list goes on and on. Award-winning. The value's so good. The small batch is $33. You cannot beat it. Look at the awards it's won. Fabulous, fabulous bourbon. Yes, the 18-year, the toasted barrel, those premium lines of Elijah Craig are more expensive, but they're fabulous too. The Elijah Craig pick that we went up to Louisville, Kentucky, and picked out should be at Briarwood Wine and Spirits like around November 1 or so. As soon as it is, we'll let you know, because that bad boy's going to go fast. I already know I'm going to get a lot, so that's a good thing to hand out to friends and clients for Christmas. You can hit us up on the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Twitter X at Bowbounds. And the Michelob Ultra caller line, 601-707-3750. Tomorrow, we'll be here for an hour, and a half or so tomorrow morning. And then I'll beeline it to North Bay. Jackson will cover the board and fly the plane, and we'll do a 10 a.m. to noon show for Realtor Lock Ward tomorrow at North Bay. Looking forward to that. So one of Realtor Lock Ward's listings. It'll be awesome. What you got?
I'm looking at these Vanderbilt students singing Rocky Top.
What year was it?
2016.
Who won?
It was in Nashville, but Vandy obviously not very good at that point in time. Tennessee was ranked top 20 at the time.
Okay, who was?
That might have been.
I don't remember who Vanderbilt's coach was.
I think I remember the quarterback. Was it Kyle Shermer?
Is that Pat Shermer's son, who's coached in the NFL forever?
Gotta be.
Okay.
If not, we'll claim it.
Okay.
That was I remember this.
So
now.
I don't even I can't remember. I can remember Bobby Johnson, James Franklin, and now Clark Lee Motors as their head coach. I can't remember in between there.
Yeah, who was it?
I don't know. I mean, they're so.
Vandy came back and scored 14 in the fourth.
What?
That's what I remember. I remember talking about this years ago on air. We talked about the kids singing too, and they used to sing forever. They literally put it on loop. It was Josh Dobbs was on the other side. Remember when they had that?
I remember Josh Dobbs.
Camaro was the running back as well. Butch Jones. Yeah,
but I was talking about Vanderbilt's coach. Yeah, I remember Butch Jones going through there, and Derek Dooley going through there. Lane went through there. Derek Dooley went through there. Butch Jones went through there. Jeremy Pruitt went through there, I guess. And then they landed on Heupel, something like that. I don't know if that's the right order. But, okay, cool. Back to Feinbaum. I want your reaction on the Golden Moon Casino text line. 601-885-3776. Paul Feinbaum considering running for U.S. Senate. Okay, so I'm reading here that Paul Feinbaum is claiming that he is a Donald Trump supporter and voter. I am blown away at that. I'm questioning that for sure. Okay. All right. So I again, I had, which is fine. I had Paul Feinbaum absolutely as a Democrat. But he wants to run in the Republican primary, evidently, for the U.S. Senate position in the state of Alabama. Now, I do get now what was happening over a year ago when we heard Paul was moving back from Charlotte to Birmingham. So this makes sense. I don't know how long you have to be. He lived in Birmingham forever, and then he and I don't know if his wife ever moved. They don't have kids. She's a physician, but I'm pretty sure she retired recently, I'm thinking, but maybe that's not accurate. So Paul, the 2014 was the SEC Network debut. Yeah. Ole Miss and Mississippi State went to number 1 and number 3 the same year. And Feinbaum started on the network that fall. And I think that coincided with Paul calling me, and he wrote the book. I don't remember, SEC something, and he wanted 2 fans from every school, male and female, to join him at Bryant-Denny Stadium for a photo shoot. So I found an Ole Miss fan and a Mississippi State fan, and we sent them over there. And that was kind of how we cultivated our relationship. And I would go on his show, and he would go on my show, and that was cool. And then his producer left, and I didn't really bother to, I guess, continue to stay connected. But he has been on the show since, and I see Feinbaum as, I think if I had to bet, he voted Democrat his whole life. Yeah. That's my initial thoughts. I mean, it's whatever, and it's up to the state of Alabama to. He's got massive. All these guys that are getting into politics over in the state of Alabama. Tommy Tuberville, he won the U.S. Senate. Y'all know about his name recognition. Okay, been the head football coach at Auburn, right? Kudos.
Yeah, but I could see that.
Bruce Pearl, head basketball coach at Auburn, talked that he was going to run. Evidently, according to his video last week, he's not. Bruce Pearl is going to be a special assistant to John Cohen. I don't know if he wants John Cohen's job or not. Stephen Pearl is now his son, the head basketball coach at Auburn. And then you got Feinbaum, who was the longtime writer. Yeah. And then Feinbaum realized, hey, sports talk radio is going to be, first of all, we're mobile and digital every day. And he even knew, after being very successful in the newspaper business, and he knew 25 years ago, I need to go this direction. Yeah. And he did. And then, of course, the SEC Network picked him up. And he can't believe how much money he's making compared to when he was writing for the, whatever it was, the Birmingham News or Herald or whatever it was way back when.
Gotta give him his props.
So interesting.
Does he win? No.
I would not put it past him.
I wouldn't either. Well, I mean, if that's why he ran as
I don't find. So Bruce Pearl, so here's what I can say, and I don't claim to, I've been to dinner with Feinbaum. I've talked to him. You know the drill. I've been on live with him. He's a nice guy. I know he comes across a little kind of like a prickly professor,
brash,
but he's actually got, and he's kind of I think because of the calls and everything, he doesn't get to maybe do as much personality and monologue wise. But that's the way. That's one of the only shows in the country that can be set up that way. I don't want to do that show.
Oh
where we
gosh,
take, but I have been in the. I've been in the studio with him, and I've, like, before the segment started, so we're about to go on TV, and there's a screen, like I've been talking about putting our screen up, our tech screen. So he's got that in there.
Yeah.
And the calls before you come on are already lined up. It's unbelievable. There's 10, they're all flashing. He's got a monitor. and boom, ready to go. But yeah, I mean, that people always talk about name recognition. My point in all that was Feinbaum, I think, would be better on the stump than people think because he just kind of sits there with not a lot of emotion during his show. He can engage. He's got a good enough personality. In other words, at a dinner, he's great.
Sure.
He can carry a conversation. Can he stomp in rural Alabama where it counts? Do I think Bruce Pearl can? Absolutely. Am I surprised that Tommy Tuberville won? Hell no. I've told the story many times of being around Tuberville, interviewing him. Nobody loves to work the room like Tommy Tuberville. And Bruce Pearl's good at it too. Now, if Bruce isn't going to run, Paul's probably like, I can't run from I can't win.
That's it.
Maybe on the Democratic side. And again, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of the makeup of Alabama, although I think Birmingham is definitely tilted. Anyway,
still
did it. Yeah. I mean, it's still going to go Republican most of the time, but Feinbaum, to me, if I had to bet since college, he's been voting Democrat.
Yes, absolutely.
But it wouldn't surprise me if he won. Here's the one thing he has. All the rural people that listen to his show, they love him.
Yeah, they'll vote for him.
So, I mean, you have to think, even
the people that don't like him will vote for him.
Yeah.
Because of the name.
I mean, Bubba from Gordo.
Yeah, he's voting for
He's
him.
listened to Paul Feinbaum his whole life.
Locked in.
So the one thing that I'm thinking about now is like you get into central Alabama and good Lord, that's where, you get down from Birmingham, you get into that, all those little communities that we've driven through, whatever you're doing in life. Feinbaum's, he's been on all those AMs and all those FMs, and now he's been on TV on the SEC. And now even in rural America, people have TV. They have access to the SEC network. So not only did they listen to him on radio in Birmingham, but they've been watching him on TV since 2014. Going to be tough. Now, he's going to have to come out and probably at least, I guess, act like he's for a couple of conservative things.
Yeah.
Some kind of fiscal responsibility. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not a Politico. But as far as name recognition and people who like him, both Bama and Auburn, has he ticked them off at times? Yeah. But they're still going to gravitate to him, I think.
I'm telling you,
I think
the people that don't like him will still vote for him.
I don't know.
If that's the only name
I don't
they know
know.
on the
I don't
ballot.
know if that's necessarily the case. But what I'm saying is, even him hosting a show and not always saying what they want to hear, is they're still going to lean Paul. Yep. Yeah, I actually think that the elites in that state. Well, they're not going to vote Republican anyway.
Nope.
So, but what is the country club guard going to do in Birmingham, Huntsville, Auburn, Opelika, and down in the Mobile area?
They're voting for him.
And is he? I know he can work the room, not like Tuberville and Pearl, but how's it going to be as a fundraiser? Of course, he knows everybody.
Yeah.
Where is it? He's always dining in Birmingham. It's at one of the maybe fancy country clubs. People see him with Sankey.
Well, I mean, he needs to get off the seat.
Because that drives people crazy that he does that.
Get him
I
out
have to think that through.
He needs to get gone. In July, he said Arch Manning was the best quarterback since Tebow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's on him.
Mike Detillier coming up next. WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Brought to you by the Ribs at Martin's in Livingston today. That's the blue plate. Jackson trying to tell me that the Saints are going to win some games. I love it. Hey, as fans, we have to have hope. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone. Brought to you by Sound and Communications. Who do you call for your next video wall for your business, church, or school? SoundcomAV.com. They're the leader. They specialize in video walls, sound and communications. Your next video wall for your lobby, your conference room, your university, your school, SoundcomAV.com. SoundcomAV.com. We welcome in Mike D to the show. Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. All right, Mike, LSU played about as bad as they can play on the offensive side of the football. What was your takeaway from them not being able to run the football at all against Ole Miss?
They haven't done it all year. It would have been surprising if all of a sudden that switch flipped. And they're just not real good up front. They're not a physical football team. They have finesse offensive line. It's been that way from the start with Brian Kelly, to be honest with you. The 2 years that they put up big numbers, that was a little bit of a pea and shell game because they had Jaden Daniels. Jaden kind of masked a little bit of the fact that they were not a real physical team up front, pushing people around in the running game. But Jaden took off, man. He scared the bejesus out of you every time he took off running, and players on that field too. He was special. But they're not real physical up front at all, and that's not a surprise to me. We've talked the entire off season about this offensive line, and that I had some major question marks. Well, they couldn't run the football well last year, and 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen got drafted in the NFL. So why would anybody think all of a sudden that's going to change? If it's scheme, if it's coaching, whatever they're doing, it ain't working up front. And it's also sort of manufactured itself into the pass protect part of the game also. But I think it's obvious Garrett Nussmeier, something is wrong with him physically. He would not address that after the game. But after the second throw, I do pregame for LSU and with former LSU quarterback Herb Tyler, and we both texted each other at the same time. Something's wrong. He had nothing into those throws. And so you got that, and you got to give Pete Golding a lot of credit. I thought that scheme of what he did defensively really caused some issues for LSU. And Nussmeier seemed to have some difficulties throwing through the branches of the tree. Really did. And, defense played hard. And you're going to give up yards, and you're going to give up points to a lane coach team. That's just the way it is. But, this story of that game is Trinidad Chambliss. And that ain't even a debate. No one could have thought when he walked into that lineup as the starter that he would play at this level, and he has been unreal. He's really been the talk of the Southeast Conference of what he's been able to accomplish with a lot of new pieces, offensively for Ole Miss. So it's for LSU. I think the question marks about being able to run the football was there from year one and still there today. Okay.
Where does this leave kind of, the fan base has been waiting for this jump. They beat Clemson and people were excited and they should have been. And I know Clemson's not that good. And they beat Florida and Florida's really struggled. I hear Sloan as the OC is not the guy. Brad Davis as the O-line coach is not the guy. Is Brian Kelly having trouble staffing and getting coaches at the level that LSU needs to get to the college football playoff, Mike?
I think that's certainly in question offensively because he got it right on defense. I think what they have defensively with Blake Baker, he got the right guy there. Now, how long is it until Blake gets a head coaching job is going to be another question. But this seems to be a yearly deal with the offensive line. Play calling, and we all know that Joe Sloan's taken a lot of heat for this, but offense is Brian Kelly's baby. Okay? Brian got a lot to do with what's being called on the offensive side of football. That's his wheelhouse. And it's been a little bit of again, I go back to Jaden Daniels. When Mike Denbrock was there before he left and went back to Notre Dame, I do believe that Jaden, that's what happens when you got great players. They mask a little bit of maybe some of the deficiencies that you have. And then when Joe got elevated to that spot, along with Cortez Hankton, their receivers coach, I wondered a little bit. Denbrock was a guy who had a lot of skins on the wall as a play caller. And I think that's the questionable thing, letting Denbrock walk away. That to me, there's a story behind the story with that, with Denbrock going back to Notre Dame. I think he wanted to have Joe Sloan as the co-offensive coordinator. Joe Sloan had deep ties to Underwood, the quarterback from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
They were really tight. And I think he tried to make it work between the two. And Mike had that opportunity to run the show offensively at Notre Dame, and he left. So there's been some question marks since. But come on, an LSU team that can't run the football, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable, Bo. And they've had difficulties literally since the first year he's there. And again, that 2-year stretch with Daniels, okay, he gave you something that's rare.
Right.
And it's that ability to just take off running, and he all of a sudden you blink, and he's 30 yards downfield. Okay, that looks nice on the stat sheet. And it puts a lot of fear defensively to try to go up because Jaden was not only a great runner, but also he could throw the football so well. Nussbaum is not that type player. And I'm going to take up for Nuss on this. I think he's fighting through an injury, and he's doing the best he can. But when you come up short with those throws and they sort of nosing down, there is something upper body-wise with him that he wasn't like that a year ago. We didn't see that. We saw a little bit of erraticism in his throws, but he was never real short on those throws. He had Chris Hilton wide open, and he just missed on that. Even the touchdown play, it literally could have been an interception early on. It literally could. It just sort of bounced around, and hey, I got it for a score. So, no, the fan base ain't happy, to answer your question. They're not real happy with Brian Kelly.
Mike Detillier, LSU insider on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. If you need a video wall for your business or school, soundcomav.com. Mike, what if they go 8-4? Are they just going to run it back with Brian Kelly, or are they going to demand changes on the coaching staff?
Yeah, I would think Brian Kelly's going to return, and he'll make changes on the coaching staff. Scott Woodward, the AD who hired him, he'll give him every opportunity, to try to succeed here. That I got no doubt about. They spent a lot of money, Bo. They spent a lot of money bringing Kelly in from Notre Dame, so he's going to give him every opportunity to make it work here in Baton Rouge. But the fan base and you can start to hear it more and more. They're not real happy. And if anybody thinks all of a sudden the running game's going to come back to them, it doesn't happen. If you don't have the elements there, I think it'll be erratic all year long, where you may have a game that looks real good, but it's not going to be a consistent running game. And which is so crazy, because when you think of Brian Kelly at Notre Dame, what did you think of? His ability to be real physical and run the football. Okay? A lot of times, I remember they played Alabama in a bowl game, and he came out in 13 personnel, which is, the 5 offensive linemen, 3 tight ends. I remember Nick Saban said, man, what's going on here? We got to get out of the defense we in. Brian Kelly is noted for running the football and multiple tight ends and playing that physical game, and just hasn't happened here.
All right, so you go 8-4. You go to a bowl game that they weren't even interested when they were winning 9 games, and so you go to a bowl game, Gator Bowl, Outback. These are things LSU's not interested in. But with the athletic director putting everything on the line and the big buyout, you what you're telling me is you see no path other than Brian Kelly coming back in 2026, right?
No path. Brian Kelly returns in 2026.
Okay.
All these people that they yahooing out about, he's gone and all this and that, they don't understand. With that type contract, he's going to return, and Scott Woodward was going to give him every inch of the rope to get himself up. That's just the way it is, and it's just not at LSU. You see a lot of ADs like that. Would Jimbo Fisher have lasted as long at A&M without that contract? No, he wouldn't have lasted. But because of what he had on the line, he probably lasted a year longer. That is just what happens in college football today, or college athletics, I should say. It's just not in football. It's also in other sports. But 8-4, 9-3, that people don't want to accept that here in Baton Rouge. It's not acceptable. And trying to get into that top 12 to get into the playoffs, and this looked to be a team that could have done it. And listen, there's still a lot of season of football left.
Sure.
To play. And I'm not saying they're not going to be in there, but, it was just the way they lost. And you think about they couldn't run the football. Nussmeier looked bad. Their defense gave up a lot of yardage and a lot of plays to Ole Miss. They lost by less than a touchdown.
I mean, that's exactly the point.
Show you how talented they are.
Yes. They should have been down 24 points. And yet Ole Miss couldn't run away with the game. And I agree. I thought LSU played awful, especially on offense. But like you said, the defense got gashed. Now they did some things to where Ole Miss couldn't run away with it. This is going to be fascinating. Where is he right?
The other thing, Bo, I'm going to tell you, people don't realize how good Chambliss is. And I'm just telling you, that dude can play. When Ole Miss is going to get an L, in that column, it ain't going to be because of him. It's going to be because, they gave up a bunch of big plays defensively. It's not going to be because of Trinidad. To me, as LSU didn't play well, Ole Miss had a lot to do with that. I mean, the Rebels really played well. And I thought what Lane Kiffin had offensively was outstanding game plan against LSU. And I think what Pete Golding did defensively was excellent. But the story of that game came down to who had the better quarterback, and it wasn't close. The eye test told you the story. Trinidad Chambliss outplayed in big time Garrett Nussmeier. Again, everybody's fighting through something, if it's injuries or whatever. But Chambliss was the story of that football game.
This is how, let's see, Kentucky had run for 172 yards on the ground, Tulane 178, Georgia State 192, and
LSU didn't get 60.
That is unbelievable, Mike D.
No, I didn't think that all of a sudden they were going to be able to have, unless they hit a big play with a Harlem Berry, the freshman running back. I didn't think that they would have a ton of rushing yards. Where I thought they could take a little bit of an advantage is, okay, Ole Miss lost 4 defensive linemen to the NFL. That they could at least protect Nussmeier enough that he would hit some big plays downfield in the passing game. And he hit a couple, but it wasn't enough. And he missed on a couple, too. So, but again, it goes back to it's an old gambler's deal. Now, this is 5 straight years. The home team has won. 5 straight years. And it's unexplainable. How could Ole Miss have lost a year ago in Tiger Stadium? Walk out of that stadium, you say, how in the world could LSU have won this game? And I think for a lot of LSU fans, their deal is, how could we have lost to Ole Miss this year? Well, this was a little bit more obvious because of the fact I think the Rebels had the better quarterback that day. Chambliss is really has shown that he is a really good football player. And, boy, when they needed it, Bo, he made the play. When Trinidad was in a bit of a bind on third down, he made the play. And, man, that huge tight end, I'd love to have him on my team. Ooh-wee. You can't miss him. Can't miss him.
All right, so Mike Detillier, LSU Insider on the Out of Bounds show. Who's your top 2 team? Now we're done with September. Next time we play will be October in a couple of days. Everybody, who are your top 2 or 3 teams in the SEC after September?
Whoa, I think it's all fluid, but I think Texas A&M certainly deserves a lot of accolades for what Elko has been able to do, and it's not all about defense. They got some weapons on the offensive side to football. So I think certainly A&M comes to mind real quickly on how good they can be. And listen, they got a 0 in the other column. It's Ole Miss. It's Texas A&M and Ole Miss.
Where would you put Bama after their win at Georgia?
I think that they righted the ship after a difficult first game against Florida State. And now you got a quarterback with some experience. And, him and I spent some time together at the Manning camp, Ty, and, I just had a feeling that he was going to be a good player in this league. Man, he's motivated, he's smart, he's talented. He's really good in that short intermediate part of the field, which they're going to do. They got to tighten up some stuff defensively, so you probably have to put them right now in the 3 spot. That's a big win against Georgia in their backyard with a lot on the line, a lot of pressure, and every time Georgia made a bit of a run, Bama slammed the door. So you'd have to put Bama in that 3 spot.
Okay, yeah. And then Georgia's win at Tennessee, or, I think we've just kind of got a cluster of teams here that, because Bama's still undefeated in league play, as you know. We've got a cluster of teams here that there's not really a penny's worth of difference, Mike, up top.
Ain't much difference. And everybody's got a hole. Everybody's got a deficiency somewhere along the line. Listen, Tennessee was lucky this week. I mean, listen, they won, and that's all that matters. But I thought they were fortunate to beat State. Man, State gave them everything they wanted in that football game. But, hey, listen, this is all about W's. This is a bottom line business. And you can say, well, you can't look at it like pro football. Well, yes, you can today.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting paid. So it is a bottom line business. But, you know what, man, Josh has got some deficiencies on the defensive side. You can see with Tennessee that they're gonna be in shootouts in most games. The most complete team would seem to be A&M for me. And we didn't even talk about Texas. I think Texas defensively is a good football team, and they got talent. Offensively, though, you got to become a better team in the passing game, and all that's kind of on the right arm of Arch Manning.
What A&M's interesting. I'm not sold totally on Marcel Reed yet, but you're right. They're playing good football, and they have 2 good wins at Notre Dame and 1 at Auburn. Auburn may not be winning the games they want, but you could argue they got robbed at Oklahoma and still played physical and well on defense and played physical and well in defense against A&M. They can't get it right on offense with Jackson Arnold and Freeze, which is I never saw coming with Freeze. But are you sold on Marcel Reed, or do you need to see a little bit more, Mike D?
I've seen enough. He's one hell of a player. Man, he gives you a dimension there as a runner, and he's become a much more efficient downfield passer. So I'm sold on him. I really am. And Moss, a Louisiana guy from the Baton Rouge area, a big heavy-duty runner, got hurt late last year and missed the latter part of the year. But, you know, Elko's defense will play much better, much, much better. You know, we hadn't talked about it, and I think only because you think without John Mateer that Oklahoma is out of the question. And can they survive this run without Mateer? Because, man, he looked to be a guy, the way he was playing, that he was going to be in New York in December, and he may be grabbing that Heisman. He was really playing extremely well. And he reminds me so much of another former Oklahoma quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
Ooh.
That's who he reminds me of. Okay, you say, well, okay, he's not real big. He doesn't have a super strong arm. He's not a speedster taking off with the football. You know what he does? Wins.
Yeah, he does.
Now, can they get through that stretch without him in the lineup? Because defensively, I think they can match up really well in the SEC. They got talent, and they got some talent depth defensively.
Mike Detillier, LSU Insider. We'll hit the Saints next week, maybe, on the Out of Bounds show. Thanks, Mike D. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Bo.
At Mike Detillier. God, that flew by. At Mike Detillier on Twitter. Mike D, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Your next video wall for your business, your school, your office. SoundComm, AV.com, Sound and Communications.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m., and this ain't no kiddie show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
On aboard!
As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Mississippi State is a 14.5-point underdog to Texas A&M and the Aggies. College Station, there'll be 105,000 people there. It will be loud. They're undefeated. They're excited. They've won at Notre Dame, and they beat Auburn at home. So those are some quality wins early in the season. Some teams have them, some teams don't. And, going to Notre Dame and winning, difficult.
Huge win.
And hosting Auburn, who can't get their act together on offense, but has a pretty hellacious defense, was a good win, 16-10. It's not about style points. Elko, defensive specialist. Was it Notre? What now?
They're scoring. Earlier, obviously they had the 16-10 game, which I told you reminded me of him.
Yeah,
I forgot they hung 40 on Notre Dame.
yeah.
I mean, can they score like that?
It's early. I don't. That's a good. I think it's a good question to ask. If
I'm with you on the Reed deal, like Mike was.
They won 41-40 against Notre Dame. Okay,
Jeez.
we remember. They won 41-40. So, but my point in Elko was he was the DC at Notre Dame, DC at A&M under Jimbo, goes to Duke, wins a little bit over 2 years. Good credit to him. That's a tough place to win.
Yeah.
And comes back and, they've always had players. They've always been able to have talent. They have resources. We've asked forever if they're ever going to be something more than 7-5 or 8-4, possibly 9-3 at times. And they've kind of been the ultimate 8-4 program. Jimbo knocked down the #1 recruiting class in the country while he was there.
Yeah.
And they really thought they were going to get that thing going. And Jimbo, like John Gruden, just couldn't get out of the way as far as offensively. If y'all remember watching Jimbo, he didn't know what was doing. He had a notebook that was 1,000 pages thick on the sideline.
Yeah.
And then he'd have all kinds of papers coming kind of out of that. And his glasses he was trying to make it as complicated as it can be. Elko, I think he really fits this thing, man. What he wants to do, the toughness component, the line of scrimmage, what they're doing, and they're undefeated.
Yeah.
So give them credit. Like Ole Miss, like some other teams, they're undefeated. They've done Missouri, done what? Hey, we beat who's on our schedule. How good is everybody? I don't really know.
Right.
Has anybody jumped out at me? No. Would I still take Bama? Yeah.
Yep.
But
if you had a neutral field and had Missouri and A&M
push. I don't know which way to go.
It's a push.
Yeah.
That's how the majority of them are, though, right?
Yeah. Neutral field, Missouri, A&M, I don't know.
Yeah, there's like 6 of them.
Sure.
You literally could drop out there. Some of them.
A&M, Missouri, Ole Miss, Bama, Tennessee.
Yeah, you roll them out. Wow.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know. It will shake out. Ole Miss could be in the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
Their schedule is so good
It's pretty.
that, they got Washington State in a couple weeks, so that's a dub. Then they go to Georgia. And, I don't know what Georgia, let's see, Georgia's got, they already lost that. Kentucky and at Auburn.
Ooh.
So that kind of bodes well for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Georgia will be coming off back. Kentucky's not good, but it'll still be a physical game, I assume. But Bama, Kentucky, and Auburn before Ole Miss. Ole Miss will have LSU off week, Washington State before going to Georgia.
It definitely bodes well.
Yeah. And it's at Georgia.
That's right.
In Athens. Where is Georgia? Oh, they host Kentucky. They may take it out on Kentucky this weekend.
Right.
Because they had every opportunity. I mean, you didn't kick a field goal. I don't understand that. And then you dropped a ball on the 10-yard line. I mean, that was a weird deal. Kirby Smart's a good football coach. I don't understand not kicking the field goal. And then you drop a ball. I mean, Georgia had every opportunity to win that game, but they didn't. So, we see that. That's a big one in a couple weeks.
Yeah, is that your litmus?
Back to A&M. They're a 14.5-point favorite. The total's only 55.5.
Jeez.
All right. So something to keep an eye on there.
Dang.
55, 55.5, depending on what book you're looking at for the total. Mississippi State at A&M, 6:30 at night. It'll be loud at Kyle Field. And I think Elko's got it going. Y'all called me out. I think he's the guy. I never.
Did he have Daniel Jones at Duke?
No.
That wasn't him, right? That didn't.
That was Cutcliffe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Cutcliffe.
So
Man, Daniel Jones has been given every opportunity in the NFL. And now he's with the Indianapolis Colts.
He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Go, Cole. Look at him. You
sold on him now?
Well, I like the thing of him and Saquon leaving New York and both succeeding. I think it's funny. And I know they've talked about that, as they mentioned on a recent interview with Daniel Jones. It was quite humorous.
They're in a weak division.
Yeah.
The AFC South
Trash.
has always been weak. I thought Peyton was in
such a glory
in an unbelievable spot, considering kind of the way that AFC South has rolled the last 25 years.
Yeah.
There's no blue. You got the Colts, the Jaguars, the Texans, and the Titans. I don't know. Is it once the Saints started winning and Tampa Bay did, you said the NFC South was, bleh for you, right? You just kind of thought that's one of the weaker divisions in football. It's nothing like the AFC North,
man,
or, some of the others. Hell, now the AFC West, when we mentioned all four Hall of Fame coaches out in Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, and Raiders, although Pete Carroll's 1-3, they got to get going.
It's all good.
Is it?
Yeah, they're getting it started. They got GT going this week.
Okay.
Yeah, for our fantasy team. So.
Oh, did we win?
Cool. Yeah, we smoked them.
Okay, Genty, I saw he both scored on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, he got 3.
Okay.
3 tutties.
All right, so who was really good for our, I guess Genty, was there another?
I know Genty was one of our star, James Cook.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
Yeah, he
do you have a big day?
He had a good day. He had 100 plus tutty. Yeah, and he gashed the Saints in the clutch time.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, my boy's back. Jordan Addison, back from suspension. Yes, sir. First game, 4 receptions, 115 yards.
Is he your guy?
I love him. He's great. He's in Minnesota.
When did this happen?
He came back. This was his first week.
When did he become your guy?
When he scored 14 for us over in the fantasy.
Oh, I got you just now.
Oh, yeah.
In the last 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, 48.
Good.
Our DeAndre Swift held it down.
Isn't he a Georgia guy?
Yeah. Yep.
I loved him. And
me too.
Man, he's got kind of Swiss Army knife skills, And
our boy Tyler Warren.
From Penn State? Oh, man, that was a good pick by me.
Yep. Very good pick.
Or maybe I was just drinking ice cold Bud Light and eating tamales from Kessler Prime. I don't remember. The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. What's your reaction to Paul Feinbaum running as a Republican for a U.S. Senate seat in the state of Alabama? Bo, do you have Ole Miss number 1 in your SEC power rankings? I do not. I have Alabama number 1 in my SEC power rankings. I have Ole Miss up there and A&M up there, and we're kind of focused on them. One's in state, one is hosting Mississippi State, but I don't have Ole Miss number 1 in my SEC power rankings. Now, you go to Georgia and win, then I'd have to believe you'd be number 1. Look, you beat who's on your schedule? Kentucky at home, Arkansas at home?
Yeah.
No, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Arkansas at home,
Right.
LSU at home. My bad. They went to Lexington. Yes. Watch that game. They went to Lexington, and then they beat Arkansas and LSU at home. So they're 3-0. And
Who told us that they liked Ole Miss's schedule more so this year?
Bartu.
Was it?
he asked when we do our previews,
Right.
and he looked at it and he said,
That's right.
I like Ole Miss's schedule this year even better than last.
That's right. I thought it was great.
They may not be challenged at home. They have South Carolina and Florida left.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. South Carolina and Florida.
And some non-cons.
Yeah, Washington State and Citadel.
Okay. Wow.
That's all they have at
Wow.
home, South Carolina and Florida.
What a slate.
At Georgia, at Oklahoma, at Mississippi State. Go 10-2, you're in.
Jeez.
Of course, you go 11-1, you're in. But you go 10-2, you're in.
They had
Got to avoid the 9-3. Haven't lost yet. Only have 3 more road games at Georgia, at Oklahoma, at Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Florida at home.
It's not too shabby.
That's about
Golly.
as good as it gets.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a gift.
That's probably the best that I can tell. Tennessee has a tougher schedule on the way out, I think. At Bama, Oklahoma at home, at Florida, Vandy at home. It's kind of a. Those two pulled the schedule of schedules the last 2 years. I mean, you could add a couple. Missouri to. What do they have left? Bama at home, at Auburn, at Vandy, A&M at home, Mississippi State at home, at Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's tough.
No, so it's a race between Ole Miss and Tennessee's schedule. Yeah, there you go. That's the deal.
Wrap it with a bow.
Tennessee did what they need to do. They went to the college football playoff last year. Ole Miss came up a little short. Will Ole Miss flip the script this year with what they have remaining on the schedule?
Does it feel like Ole Miss could be a Tennessee team from last year? Like a Tennessee, like they sneak in at that last little spot?
Yeah. Yeah. Oregon, Bama, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Georgia's still got a shot. They can actually still drop another game.
Yeah.
Because they won the game at Tennessee. Georgia can get in at 10-2. Ole Miss may be in the SEC championship game. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And we're brought to you by Rick's Pro Truck, spray and bed liners, lift kits, 3 locations. RPT, trucks live here, ricksprotruck.com. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Ole Miss will take the week off and hopefully get healthy. And Mississippi State will get one more game before they take a week off. Right. So they go to A&M this weekend, and then they take a week off, and then they go to Florida. So at A&M this weekend, week off at Florida. And Florida plays Texas and at A&M before getting you. That could be an opportunity for you to go down there and take that game deep into the fourth quarter at Florida. Now, Billy Napier got on the podium yesterday, Monday, and he said that he can see something in DJ Lagway's eyes.
Gosh,
kind of like when you go out with a girl or a boy.
Oh man.
and you see it. So I don't know how you feel about that, but he sees it.
He's got to.
You know, I know he knows that Lagway, for our listeners, DJ Lagway's the Florida quarterback. He can ball, but man, they've looked awful.
Bad.
Is he hurt? Everybody was talking about during August practices. Is he hurt? Now, you know, Mike Detillier says, look, Garrett Nussmeier does not throw the football like that. We have seen this guy zip balls to throws, zip balls,
like that.
throws to wide receivers and tight ends. You didn't see that. Is DJ Lagway now all of a sudden healthy? They figured out, you know, did he need they took a week off. Is he going to be healthy as they host the Texas Longhorns and Arch Manning this weekend? Can you believe Bama got game day with Vanderbilt?
I love it.
What a world we live in now in college football.
Good for Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's 5-0.
Ranked.
5-0.
Dude, emphatically.
And they smoked South Carolina. I know they knocked Lenora Sellers out in early second quarter.
Still.
Yeah. I mean, they won at Virginia Tech. They won at South Carolina. And then they've just kind of been, you know, playing some teams. And now they go to Bama. They're 5-0.
Welcome to it. Obviously, this is the litmus.
What if Diego?
No way.
What if he goes into Bryant-Denny and comes away with victorious by 1 point? Because that dude can run around. All of a sudden, it can be close. I mean, he can rip off a 25-yard run. They can field goal and win. He is capable of doing that.
Oh, I know. I mean, how many? I mean, if you think back,
And
how
he
many
can throw
quarterbacks
it.
have done that? Going into Bryant-Denny.
Bo Wallace with Ole Miss.
Bo did, yeah.
Johnny Manziel with A&M.
Yeah.
LSU's gone in there. Chad Kelly went in there and won.
So. There's 4 in the past.
Auburn,
years.
Cam.
Cam's been in.
There's Bama and Bama lost at South Carolina against Steve Spurrier.
Save it is
Jimbo beat him. Jimbo beat Saban at A&M. Because we went years with saying that
the assistants. Yeah.
No assistant coach had beat them, and they couldn't break through.
Play that audio on the other side.
Yeah, we could. On Kirby? Yeah, all right. We got some Kirby Smart audio coming up next. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105. I think it's good, too, you know?
I'd kick his ass out.
Whoa. Huh? Oh, yeah. All right, let's go to this. And Underdog, baby. Here's what I like about Underdog. It's simple. It's fun. And it turns any game into a chance to win. You don't have to worry about managing a fantasy lineup all season long. Instead, you just pick higher or lower on player stat totals and enjoy the ride. I've been playing for a while now, and honestly, the thrill when your guy hits that number is unmatched. And here's the kicker. Get your picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash with entry starting at just $1. That's why Underdog is the move. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com and make your plays today. It is playoff time, and I'm checking out Dodgers Reds, and I'm rolling with Shohei Ohtani for higher than 1.5 total bases.
Must be 18 and older and present in Mississippi. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss is the talk of the town, and he's a hell of a quarterback. He can run it and throw it, which is perfect. That's what you got to do this day and age. When you're limited one way or the other, boy, it handicaps you. But when you've got a guy that can do both in college, that's crazy. You know? All right, we are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The show is brought to you by Mississippi Smart Homes, mssmarthomes.com. Make your home smart. Get the Sonos surround sound system and have it all at your fingertips on your phone, mssmarthomes.com. I love the Sonos surround system at my house, mssmarthomes.com, mssmarthomes.com. Call Jake Manning today. Do we have the Kirby Smart audio? All right, so this is what Kirby said after the Alabama game. They were asking about his record versus the Crimson Tide. And they had a devastating loss on Saturday night. This is Kirby.
You're 1-7 against Alabama now. Do you worry that that's maybe when you face Alabama, you're scheduled to play them again next year, that maybe starts to linger with this program?
I mean, what's everybody else's record against them? You got it? I don't either. Like I don't lose sleep over that because those games have been like championship caliber games, right? And even when we play in the regular season, they've been. I just saw 25 scouts out there. They're all there to watch these teams play. So that's not going to affect me. Like I'm going to be happy and just go lucky if our team comes back and plays well. That's what I worry about. But it's just we got to get better. And next year it won't have anything to do with this year. Thank you, guys.
Well, okay. So he's tired of losing Alabama, and I get it. And did you think that was a little?
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama.
Man, is Kirby. Now, he can't go Dabo.
But he wanted to.
It was close there.
He thought about it.
Look,
Wow.
I've said this for years. I'm in the media. I've been in post-game, very, very intense post-game press conferences. You don't have time, the media, and I'm not like a traditional journalism major media, went to work for a big, media conglomerate, da-da-da-da.
Right.
We just took a different path, which is fine. Whichever way is good, whatever works for you. But I'm going to say this. I have been in press conferences where, here's the deal. The coaches and players don't have time to decompress.
No.
I'm never surprised what we get, whether it's a Dabo rant, a Brian Kelly rant, even that part with Kirby Smart. Yeah. Kiffin and Levy have been moody after games. Okay. Kiffin's fun when they're winning. He was after they lost to Kentucky and Florida last year, insufferable. Okay. Coaches, Jans and Beard have a lot of bite to them. And that's, SEC basketball, you're playing twice a week. It's just nonstop in the saddle. And yet we who've been eating nachos and sitting in I don't sit in the press box often, as you know. But you're watching the game and you're taking your notes and you're doing your thing. And then, dude, they've been in. He just coached 3.5 hours against Bama.
Yeah, dude, you're in the no, there's no way. How long does it take to decompress from that, anyways? I'm gonna need a while.
I'd say several hours.
Yeah.
Probably a night. I don't think you really sleep. But how do you sleep if you're Kalen DeBoer or Kirby Smart after a game like that?
No
anyway, maybe Kalen winning, fly back.
Sure.
Biggest win, right? Biggest win of your career
At Bama. Semifinal was nice.
Yeah, at Washington, but
It was-
you lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
But I guess that was a good win against Texas. It was.
It was a good win.
Yeah,
Very
Sark
much
should have
so.
never lost to Washington.
No. Michael Penix.
And the way that they're Sark,
He's He's done. He's toast. It's
No,
over
he's
with.
there.
It's done.
You're
It's
just
over
trying to stir
with.
the.
Can't stand
You're trying to
it.
get a reaction on the. All right.
Don't like Texas.
Do you think Sark's done?
It's
Let's go ahead and get this out of here.
trending the wrong way.
Oh, Sark. He's gone to back-to-back college football playoffs.
Yeah, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this year, and he looks bad.
Okay.
He's trended backwards.
Okay.
He's going back.
Bartu says his offense is regressing, which means it is. He's got the numbers. Back to Kirby.
He wanted to snap so bad.
They could still win the national championship.
Yeah, of course. And they can drop one more.
I mean, they have a phenomenal win at Tennessee. Let's not sleep on that. They have an incredible win at Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think they'll beat Kentucky by 100, and then they go to Auburn.
Oh, they can. Yeah, they very well. No, they're still in play.
And Auburn's taking the week off. And then we'll host Georgia.
They're 10-2. They'll be fine at 10-2, right?
Who?
Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The floor for them is 9-3.
You know, that Texas game doesn't look near as bad, does it, at home?
No.
As it did last year
Absolutely
at Texas?
not. No.
When they won?
I mean, I thought that was an automatic W.
Okay.
That's what I have on here. Just a W. I don't even have the Texas Longhorn helmet.
Oh, do you not?
No, I scratched it out and put W.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
You don't like Texas,
I
though.
don't.
Do you not like Matthew McConaughey?
See, I like McConaughey. I do like McConaughey. I like him a lot. I think he's phenomenal.
Okay.
A little overplayed, but I like him. He's a little oversaturated.
Yeah, well, the whole...
'Cause, I mean...
And now it's kind of... Are you talking about like him on the sidelines all the time?
Well, not only... I'm just talking about him, McConaughey in general. Like, he's everywhere.
Okay.
But especially on the sidelines, I can't stand that.
You don't like that?
I hate it.
Okay.
And I figured I would like that, but I can't stand it.
All right.
Well, he can be on the sideline. Don't be talking to the players.
I know during the game he
talks
goes
to the
over.
kicker. The kicker's been trying to kick a game-winning field goal, and he's talking to him. There's a rule in football. You do not talk to that kicker.
Right.
You don't talk to him. Let him do whatever he's doing. If he's in his head, let him do that. But you don't talk to the kickers. It's a thing. And I don't need him out there. No. Yeah, especially if you're losing. You can do it when you're winning.
Well, they've only lost one game.
Oh, dude, this is about to unravel.
You feel it?
Yeah, let's see.
Are they going to Florida and losing? They're a 6.5-point favorite, but if DJ Lagway plays,
what did Billy say?
What if Texas and Arch Manning and Sark go on the road against this Florida team that has looked awful?
Yeah.
What if they go to Gainesville and lose?
That one, Austin will not be a fun place to be. I'm sure it will, but Texas won't be. That's gonna be I mean, what Billy say earlier?
He said he can see it in Lagway's eyes.
I'm behind that. Give me that.
I'm just telling you, if Lagway balls, they're losing.
Texas
is losing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the deal. If somehow he plays like he did last year and that was on one leg, then they're winning.
He hadn't even looked like one leg.
No, I can't figure out what's going on there. I don't.
But if he could play to that extent, yeah, they're going to be just.
Florida has looked horrific on offense. Yeah. Auburn's looked awful on offense. That's another one.
What?
Breeze's got to get this thing tuned up. Did you see the article this morning on Kentucky.com? I was reading. Speaking of, we're talking about coaches and what could happen with Napier and Hugh Freeze and Mark Stoops and maybe Brian Kelly. Mike Detillier doesn't believe that they will make a decision. I'm not so sure. Mark Stoops' buyout at Kentucky is $38 million. It's due in 60 days.
No way. Dang.
Was Mitch Barnhart, the athletic director at Kentucky, like not in the office that day?
Right.
And a GA just went back and forth on the DocuSign? What?
Somebody got fleeced.
Stoops didn't have the leverage. You should say, all right, look, we'll pay you out over 4 years.
4? I'm thinking 10.
Whatever. I mean, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Right.
Seriously.
I mean, you're still going to be the coach. You're going to sign the contract.
But what are you going to do?
We'll pay you out over 5 years.
You have all of the leverage.
Mitch Barnhart at Kentucky, it was $50 million.
Yeah, right.
It's now 38.
Okay, that's a good chunk going down. It's still. I wonder when the next increment is.
I don't know if it's like 31,
year.
30 million type deal. He gets paid $9.5 million a year. I mean, he gets paid what Lane Kiffin
That
gets
is
paid.
incredible.
Mark, think about that. Compare Lane Kiffin and Mark Stoops
No, you can't. There's no way. I mean, so he's been making that like for a while. They've been paying him that like willingly.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love her.
Yeah, she's got the best
Yeah.
resting bee voice
Yes.
and best resting bee face
Oh,
of probably all time.
the woman.
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama.
She's iconic at this point.
Mm-hmm. Evidently, Kirby's guys did not do this.
We have a saying around our place, we eat off the floor. And if you're willing to eat off the floor, you can be special.
Are they willing to be special? Is Ole Miss willing to be special? Is Ole Miss eating? Who's the most eating off the floor team in the league? A&M? Ole Miss? Missouri? Now Bama with their win?
Ooh. Is it Missouri's not a bad candidate there.
I think Mississippi State's eating off the floor.
They certainly have been.
2 games, won one of them against top 15 teams. Played the other one down to overtime inside the 4-yard line.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's
Ole Miss eating off the floor. Missouri, Drink and Lane don't see that they're not eat off the floor guys.
No.
Just trying to find some recruits.
But they are phenomenal coaches who they just win 1-score games. Their records are insane.
Yeah, I love that. But that's what it means. It feels like a lot of these big games are always.
Is the non-football school going to be the school that makes a move and Kentucky fires Mark Stoops and pays him $38 million, and LSU brings Brian Kelly back and Florida brings Billy Napier back? How do you bring Napier back if he doesn't start winning?
You don't.
Like he had turned it last year, and you just skirted the whole thing. But now this year, you still play at A&M.
Yeah.
Like Texas this week. I'd like to hear from our listeners on the Florida schedule. What do you think? I think they can win this weekend. I know that's crazy. I know I told y'all I thought they'd beat Miami. If DJ Lagway is healthy and starts playing, they're going to win some games. If not, this thing could be, I think they would. All right, let me go through it. The Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. Florida hosts Texas. They can win that game. At A&M, don't think so. Mississippi State at home will be competitive. Florida will have the edge. Georgia on a neutral field. Georgia with the edge. At Kentucky, Florida with the edge. At Ole Miss with the edge. Ooh, Tennessee at home. This schedule's terrible.
It's so bad.
And then Florida State at home.
Yeah, that's not good for them.
And Florida State just lost to Virginia. How did Florida State lose to Virginia?
Dude. They were there and they were looking all right. Just when things were getting right, you lose that kind of a ball game. Why?
This college football now with the portal is damn near impossible to handicap.
I know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know.
Well, because people like you do 16 parlays, and the house is going to win regardless.
Well, unless I'm in the
unless
house.
your 3-team teaser works.
Lock.
Which you said you got how many points for Mississippi State?
I got plus 24. Yeah, I'm going to take them 24 up. That's fine.
So
I'll give them that.
If Levy can score 20, you look to be good.
24, that's a lot. League play? Yeah, I'll take that. And I'll take Oklahoma minus 35.5. Yeah, Kent State. That's a lock. I can't keep giving these out. I got to start charging for these locks.
Dexter says every week that Lane wins, Florida adds another $1 million to the contract offer. Just saying. It's either going to be, if Florida moves off Napier, don't you think it's either
two guys?
Drink, for our listeners, Drinkwitz is the head coach at Missouri. It's either Drink or Lane, right?
Those are your two targets, at least. You got to make them tell you no. And that's very.
Or Louisville and Jeff Brom.
No.
Okay, he's a good coach.
Oh, I agree.
They're 4-0.
I think they'd rather pluck.
I know it's not a football school, but he's won, which actually is more impressive. They're not a football school, and they don't care, and he's winning. I know they hadn't beat anybody. I mean, they won at Pitt, but they're also Louisville. They don't recruit in the top 25.
Sure. Okay, I mean, I just feel like Florida's going to be Florida-y about it and say we're going to go pluck a sitting SEC head coach.
Drink.
Yeah,
I think Drink over Lane.
Why?
I don't think Strickland, Cohen, Byrne type guys want to deal with Lane.
I can get that. I understand that.
I think you've got to adjust your thinking, but I think that's the deal.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, John Cohen is wishing he hired Lane Kiffin instead of Hugh Freeze. Yeah. Wow. Now, I mean, Hugh's got to get this thing rolling.
I mean, it's not pretty. I mean, he's supposed to be good at offense.
Yes, he is.
And this is not good.
They're not good.
They're not good.
Year 3, Hugh Freeze isn't good on offense.
That's incredible. Because
I hate that whole game has passed him by. So, I mean, how would that happen? He was just moving the ball at Liberty. He was just moving the ball at Ole Miss. He moved the ball at Arkansas State. How is the game passed him by? But they're not good on offense. He can't seem to hit on the QB position when all he did was hit on it at Ole Miss and at Liberty. I don't understand.
Does he get it figured out? How long's he got to get it figured out? It's this year. This is it. Because I
told you. Let me go through their stretch. They're off this weekend, and then they play Georgia at home, Missouri at home.
He may not make it through the next month.
At Arkansas, Kentucky at home, at Vanderbilt, Mercer at home, Alabama at home.
Oh, man, poor Hugh.
I mean, that should be bad. Several W's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be totals 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he can make it at 8-4.
You think?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
He can make it at 8-4. Yeah, you can sell that back. There'll still be some people chirping, but he's coming back at 8-4.
What if Alabama rolls off win after win, and they have a 11-1 season? Does that add more fuel to it? Like, does it put more pressure on an 8-4 as opposed to a 10-2?
It does. He'll need to be careful in that game. I still think he'll be fine, but
if he's
I don't think they'll blow him out. But he can't allow Bama to go into Auburn the last game of the year and embarrass them.
Is that all?
I don't see that happening because, again, nobody's dominant. But and Auburn's got a phenomenal defense. I mean, I'll give Hugh Freeze this. He talked about their defensive line all during the offseason. We talked about it. Right. They are good.
Yeah.
And DJ Durkin is good.
Yeah. Do you think
I wish he was in Starkville, but he's good.
Do you think the administration there knows, like, Freeze is he is a good coach, and Durkin's a really good coach as well. 8-4, I don't think they keep him.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they're not firing him at 8-4. Cohen.
Oh, it's yeah.
And them. Cohen's not going to do that, and he needs to be right on football, and he hasn't really been right. Moorhead didn't work out. Leach was a Band-Aid. I mean, he was winning because he's Leach, but it was very funky and so on. I mean, both Moorhead and Leach recruiting really burned the deal down. Leach is just one of those totally anomalies that can take just a bunch of guys on the side of the road and win. He's one of 1,000 in coaches. It just does not. It just maybe Kurt Signetti's a guy like that at Indiana. You know, there are some guys like that, but
is he?
I don't know though. Kurt's actually gone into he may be the best along with Kiffin and his crew. He may be the best evaluator in the country because they keep landing players at Indiana, which is weird. So I don't know. But
they had that mean 20-15 game over the weekend. How did they go from hanging 63 on Bielema to hanging 20 on Iowa?
Because Iowa plays
like
some of the most unbelievable defense in the history of college football under Kirk Ferentz.
That's crazy. He's always been like that, right?
But bottom line, they won the game.
Yeah, that's it.
It was at Iowa.
Yep.
Iowa plays tough, fundamentally sound football, and somehow gets guys that can play defense at a level that's hard to even wrap your brain around.
It makes no sense.
No.
And they've always.
But he's one of the best coaches ever. He's boring, but he is. He's, as far as technical, on the field, X's and O's, teaching, all fundamentals, Kirk Ferentz at Iowa is one of the best ever.
Has anyone ever tried to pluck him like that?
Surely, I don't know. Right? He's been there for 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, he's an institution unto himself.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer he's going to hang around, but we had him on the show once.
Really?
It's so weird.
That's dope.
They had won big. Maybe he had grabbed Brad Banks or whatever the guy, Banks from JUCO Hines, and he went up there and won games, and something made me want to have Kirk on, and he laughed about it because he said, I've never asked to be on a sports talk radio show in the summer from where we are.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so that's the difference in the SEC and the Big Ten. Hey, here's what I like about Underdog. It's simple, it's fun, and it turns any game into a chance to win. You don't have to worry about managing a fantasy lineup all season long. Instead, you just pick higher or lower on player stat totals and enjoy the ride. I've been playing for a while now, and honestly, the thrill when your guys hits that number is unmatched. It makes every catch, every run, every throw feel like it matters. And here's the kicker. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash with entry starting at just $1. That's why Underdog is the move. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com and make your plays today. It's playoff time, and I'm looking at Padres and Cubs. I'm rolling with Fernando Tatis Jr. for higher than 8.5 fantasy points. UnderdogFantasy.com, baby. UnderdogFantasy.com.
And present in Mississippi. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.